agenda?
Good, Mark Doherty.
Just fine. So we were just talking about, they're trying to get it so that we can slide the buildings back over, that one building back over to the east. We're doing everything we can to do it, so just make sure your sequencing wise, that's our second building.
Looks like we're ready to go. Good evening, everybody. You are at a Plan Commission of the City of Wausau. It is Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. It is 5 p.m. City Hall, Council Chambers. And we have a quorum. Looks like we have everybody here tonight. Thank you. Item number 1 is the approval of the meeting minutes for April 29th and May 1st, 2025. Those are in the packet. Motion from Brueggemann, second from Bornan. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, first item is our public hearing. Item number 2, public hearing is a discussion on rezoning 1339 Curling Way from medium industrial zoning district to a high industrial zoning district for revi design. Anybody here to speak on for or against that for revi design? I'll ask again, anyone here for the public hearing to discuss the rezoning of 1339 Curling Way from a medium industrial zoning district to a high industrial zoning district for revi? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. And we'll go to item 3 as a discussion and possible action on that item, rezoning of 1339 Curling Way from medium industrial zoning district to a high industrial zoning district for revi. And
Motion to approve.
motion from Brueggemann.
Staff recommendation to combine the lots.
Okay, motion from Brueggemann to approve with a lot combination recommendation. Looking for a second. Second from Borneman. So this is use that it's a lot that they're acquiring, and they're already doing the heavy industrial at their current location, so they're expanding into a little section to the north. Any questions, comments? Need some staff recommendation? Brad, you want to approve the recommendation as Brueggemann asks?
Yeah, I think Andrew took it from the staff report, from Carrie's report. I don't know, Carrie, do you want to add any commentary?
Sure. I'll just, good evening, Chair Denny and members of the commission. So I'll just add briefly, staff does recommend approval with the condition just because there's good land use consistency surrounding that parcel. The existing use is already heavy industrial, so they're looking at expanding to the lot to the north. So it's an existing use that is functioning well there now. The only thing we always have to consider with any zoning map amendment is any use allowable in that district could continue. So that's just something we want to be conscientious of, but staff still believes that it's consistent with the surrounding properties and it's a good fit for that area. So we're recommending approval with that lot combination.
Anything further? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that passes. Does that go to council?
Yes, that would go to council on June 10th for final approval.
All right, item 4 is discussion and possible action for the specific implementation plan for 920 North First Street and 15 Fulton Street, also known as River Life South. And that is for Vanguard, and some of their representatives are here tonight. Entertain a motion on the SIP.
I'll make a motion.
Motion from Bulkin. Second from Watson. Comments, discussion, questions? Brad, you want to?
Sure, I guess I'll just give a little background on it. We'll bring up a rendering here. So Vanguard has submitted the specific implementation plans. They're in the packet. Here's a rendering looking southwest from Fulton and First. And so the landscaping plans, building elevations, detailed site plans are in the packet. Staff feels that it is a complete package for the specific implementation plans. They're very similar to what was submitted for the general plan, which was previously approved. There were some slight tweaks just to the site plan to allow for better circulation for fire vehicles. Just minor changes there. We looked at the plans overall. Again, changes were minimal from the general plans. A couple things that staff did note in the staff report were minor, and that has to do with the signage. This rendering is a little bit different than some of the engineering drawings that are in the packet, so this isn't necessarily binding at this point. I have discussed with the petitioners that they may need to come back staff is recommending that they come back through the regular sign permit process through staff, just to make sure that it fits our zoning standards. This one, we may have some discrepancies with our zoning, but it seems like a small issue to work through in the future. And the other one was for the lighting that's being shown. We just were hoping that the lighting for the parking lots in particular, that it would match the existing lighting that's down in River Life. We have parking lot lighting for the apartments to the north and also the Wow parking lot. I have had some preliminary discussions with the developers, and they seem to be receptive to that. Maybe Mark can speak to that.
Good afternoon. Mark Lake from Vanguard Partners. Thank you for allowing us to be here. To add to those two questions, one of them, that River Life, the Soul Haven. Our project's name is Soul Haven. It took a while for us to come up with as we've been expanding our reach within the state of Wisconsin, we decided to basically brand our name. And if you saw our plans over the time, each set of plans had a different name on it. It's because we were trying to come up with a name, and one of them it's Soul Haven River Life is essentially what this project is. And what this represents on the building, it's probably not in its final form, but what we've noticed throughout the state of Wisconsin, not necessarily here in Wausau, but throughout the state of Wisconsin, how signage has been integral to some of these multi-story buildings. And we're looking at that signage to be more architecture and not signage. And I think that was the intent of the architect for this one. It's not in its final form. We're going to work on trying to get there, but I think it's the intent of what it is. It's more architecture for signage, and then you see a little bit. It's on the retaining wall down at the entrance too. So anybody going down the hill will see it as well. So we're going to address that. I sent a note to staff, and they sent me some cut sheets for the lighting that was mentioned about. Trying to integrate the lighting that is part of the Riverwalk and the downtown area and stuff like that. So we have the cut sheets, and we'll incorporate those into our parking lot. That's the least we can do to make sure there's some uniformity amongst all the projects here in downtown Wausau.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I guess, and just to note, this is the SIP. There will be subsequent conversations with the developer. We'll continue to work with them on refining some of the plans. There will be a developer agreement down the road where some of the finer details may be addressed. And again, through the regular permitting process, we can address some of these minute details. But from the specific implementation plan perspective, staff feels, again, it's complete, and we didn't have any issues with what's being proposed. So I recommend approval.
Okay, with a motion and a second and a staff recommendation for approval, any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting the SIP for, I'm going to say it, Soul Haven River Life, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you. Item 5, possible discussion and possible action on approving the signage plan for Lock redevelopment, Banter Living at 1520 Elm Street.
Motion to approve sign language.
Motion from Brueggemann, second from Borneman. You've got that up? Here's a rendering, and Brad, if you want to talk us through it.
Sure, unless Bill wants to. There's a combination of a multi-tenant sign on the corner as well as some building signage. This is a PUD. We've been working with the sign company on refining this a little bit, and we think it's more in line with our standard zoning. Anything else?
Seeing none, motion and a second. All those in favor of the approving the signage plan for Lock Banter at 1520 Elm Street signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Next meeting date is June 17th, 2025, same location. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Watson, Larson, those in favor?
Aye.
See you later. 11 minutes, awesome.
One more hurdle.